computer and because I just ran out of power.
Oh.
Guys, we're talking about a kids movie.
We're going
Stop
live.
being dirty. Stop being dirty and talking about plugging stuff in.
This is.
And now a word from our sponsor, Gary's Wholesale Sausage Emporium. Are retail hot dog prices making you crazy? Come on down to Gary's for all your discount dog needs. Was this really the best we could do?
Blue Apron passed.
Okay. Let's get vulnerable, Langley. Let's get sexy. First caller gets 11 feet of Gary's signature summer sausage.
Father Weems didn't like that. He doesn't find that funny.
Father Weems doesn't like lies.
Yeah. The funniest thing that ever happened with Father Weems is he called me one day when I was in Illinois. I was at Eastern Illinois University. Calls to leave me a message. And he's like, I heard your phone message. That's not funny. He says, you need to change that. And of course, my outgoing message was, it said, it had a jazzy piano piece, Sting playing, I think it was Sting's Miss You, Kate song. And over it, I did this voice. You have called 1-800-GO-TO-HELL. Press 1 for famine and pestilence. Press 2 for possession of a friend or loved one. And so anyway, he didn't like that. That's even. You need to fix that. So I did. I went and I got Sting doing Gabriel's Message for the background music. And I did this. You have called 1-800-HEAVEN. All of you operators are busy right now, but if you stay on the line, an operator will get you in well, anyway, you know where it was going. And my father got so pissed at that one. And I was like, I told him, there's no making you happy.
Not with shit like that, duh.
You want just plain white bread. Nothing on it. Oh, he's gotten mad at me so many times over the years. And now you know why I'm so terrified of him, because I know that the slightest thing will fucking piss him off at me. And I'm like, oh my God.
You still haven't called him, haven't you?
Yeah, I totally haven't.
You're such a coward.
I am. I totally admit it.
Your dick goes inwards when you think about Father Weems.
He's the only person on this planet that does that to me. Even my dad didn't do that to me. I wasn't afraid of my dad. But boy, man, I am terrified of Father Weems being upset with me. I'm Catholic, so what deleted scenes? Are you of any denomination?
Well, I was raised Episcopal, which is basically Catholic light.
It's Catholic light, yeah. It's
half the religion, twice the guilt. It's quite amazing.
They broke from the Catholic Church for a divorce, and so Henry could get his divorce. And so that was before the divination of Mary and before confession. So that's why you don't have confession or the Hail Mary in the Episcopal Church, because that's what happened historically. So who's all here? We got Gambit is sitting here. Let's see. Look, man, I don't know what I'm going to do if they do this. I don't know how I feel about it. I love the original film. If they were going to do a sequel, they should have done it in like the late 90s going into the 2000s when these guys had kids of their own, you know, the characters, believably. But now it would be grandkids at this point. So it's like, I don't know where to go. What are they going to do with that? I still would enjoy that, seeing them have an adventure with their grandkids, but I don't know. My old friend Richard Donner, New York's finest. Richard Donner was a cop at some point?
Where did you get that he was a cop?
New York's finest.
New York's finest. That's what that means.
I didn't know that.
Snorty is here. Hello, Snort.
Hey,
Hope you're having good. I hope all of you are having a great Saturday. And of course, Tom Baker. Hi, buddy. Martin is in the chat. Martin is not here today. Martin suffered a horrible loss last night. His mother passed away. It was a shock, and he wanted to take today off. And I said, "Hey, no problem, man. No problem." Because he's sort of in the same pickle that I was with my own mom. Slasher Fred's here too. What's up, man? That when my mother was dying, and I wanted to be in Arizona to help take care of her. But because I wanted to be in Arizona, I found myself being contested by my ex-mother-in-law and her family. And they once again tried to fight me for custody of my daughter. So I was forced to stay in Missouri to fight a court battle that cost a lot of money.
And they had no chance in winning. Zero.
They had no chance, zero chance of winning, because in order to change custody, you have to prove negligence or abuse, and they weren't going to do that because I took good care of my girl. So anyway, I'm forced to listen to my mother on a respirator dying the night she died, and I spoke to her, and I could just hear her barely moan over the phone, and it broke me. I should have been down there helping take care of her. I should have been there when she died. And so if anybody can understand what Martin's feeling right now, because he's separated by being in Mexico and he's not able to go down there. But at the same time, he did say that they were going to cremate her. I don't know if how that's good for Martin or not, but Martin, this is a tough spot for Martin. My heart goes out to Martin over this shit. Hey, Slasher Fred, how you doing, buddy? So, hey, if you guys love Martin, give him some love today. Send him some prayers. Send him positive thoughts. Just talk to him. Because he and his family are just going through some shit right now with this. This is awful. Is the Goonies virgin? Who is? What?
Max Demon.
Are you saying you are? You are a Goonies virgin. Oh, okay. I thought you were trying to say somebody else is. I was a bit. It was supposed to be I'm. Okay, I got you. I was a bit old when it came out and have never seen it other than a couple talking about it on the interweb. Yeah, you should watch it.
Same.
You should watch it.
And it's problematic. If you haven't watched it as a kid and you don't have that nostalgia for it, it's a bit difficult to get into this.
Yeah, because Anima, it was, she's still, I heard her laugh and she did enjoy some of the film, but overall, this is one of those films where it's like, she could have lived the rest of her life and never have seen it and been fine about it.
Well, I made an attempt a couple of years ago when a different podcast talked about it, and I like to watch stuff beforehand.
Salty Nerds, our buddies at Salty Nerds.
That's right. And I got about 10 minutes, and then I was like, yeah, I'm not the audience for this. Let's go watch something else.
What you need is to have a relationship with somebody who loves it, and then you're kind of compelled a little bit to try to enjoy it, which is what you tried to do, which was nice. And I appreciated it.
What he's saying is I'm forced to watch this shit right now because I'm doing a show on it. I don't get days off. No.
I don't force you to, but I do coerce you. There's no question.
Yeah.
There's coercion involved.
Some of the movies that I have to watch for the channel are just painful waste of time. Just saying.
So, like, there was this funny moment the other day where Anima's like, well, if you want to do more Bonds, I'm all in on that. And I'm like, okay, all right, all right. So what I did is we talk a lot about Daniel Craig's run at Bond on here. We very critical of what he did and how he personally pushed to change it. And so I have a lot of disdain for Daniel Craig, but I really did like Casino Royale. And despite what other people feel about it, I liked Quantum of Solace because to me, it was like an addendum to Casino Royale. It was the ending. It was actually the final chapter of Casino Royale. And so therefore, I found enjoyment in that. So we are going to do those two films. And Anima was just like, great. the two films I don't want to see.
No, I said when I asked for more Bond, I didn't ask about Craig Bond.
Same
It was
difference.
My least favorite.
Same difference.
If you quote me,
It's no
quote me
different.
correctly.
No, I'm not quoting you. I wasn't quoting you. I was giving a basic generalization of how you felt about it. Grandkids could work. You can say the kids didn't believe all the aspects of the story, but the grandkids do. Gotcha. Because one tends to believe your grandparents' stories. Well, and I got to tell you, Zoe often doesn't give two shits. She used to love me telling her stories, okay, when she was little. But once she hit 13, her interest in shit that happened to me went away. And so I feel she's still not interested. And I think the reason why she calls me all the time is because she's single. So now she's not got that boy to occupy all her time. So she calls me because she knows I will always listen to her when she wants to talk about something. Until she gets into politics, and then I poke fun at her.
Always.
Poor Anima is like privy to the last conversation I had with Zoe, and I was just like, I started poking fun at the person that she gets her news from. I said, the guy doesn't even know how to science. When he talks science, he's so wrong on everything. I just did a cursory inspection of what he did from a trusted resource, and I'm telling you, they're right, he's wrong. And so therefore I said, you like it because he's popular and he says what you want to hear. And I said, she thinks that socialism is good, that she understands communism is bad, but the communism of today is different than the communism which she reads in books. And I'm like, no, it's the same motherfucking thing. And it's brutal and it's evil. I said, that money's got to come from somewhere, honey. Where's it going to come from? Well, she never knows where it's going to come from. That's the problem with young people. So anyway, Goonies is the movie we're going to talk about today, and I do love this movie. It holds a special place in my heart. I was 21 years old when this movie came out, and I was already a big Richard Donner fan. I loved The Omen. I loved Superman, the movie, and he hadn't come out with Lethal Weapon yet, and boy, that was coming next. And I just simply, and he's one of those Hollywood liberals that I always liked, because even though he was full of shit on things, he was very nuanced in how he would show his politics in his movies. Hey, Lester, Skeptic Take Obsessions, what's up? Hey. And of course, my good buddy Alpha is here. Hey, and Cavatino Calverman Che is here. But hey, you've got a new video for you. He breached, honey. Can I play the video?
Yeah, do it.
Do it now. Here we go. Just for you, Kev.
And you were in absolutely the deepest.
Shit, Ma.
I don't like that language, but that's exactly what you're going to be in. And you, Dada, Jada, use the back door from now on, okay?
Use the back door from now on. Fucking love that. Anima catches the backdoor references and sends me numbers. Yeah. Clip this. And you know what, Ostains? And by the way, hi, John. It's good to see you. I miss you when you guys aren't around. I love when you pop in. Hope your woman pops in too today. You two always cheer me up. So if you didn't know, John, just to update everybody that's here now, Martin lost his mother yesterday, and that's why he's not here today. I told him to take as much time as he needs to. He's a necessary part of this channel, and but I understand what that's like. So does many of us have lost our parents. Our moms, and it's tough, man. It's tough, and he's separated by a continent technically. He's because South America is where she's at, down in Venezuela, and he's up in Mexico. And he can't get down there. God, I fucking love that guy. Anyway, the enduring appeal of many of these isms is they make you feel superior to be great unwashed, especially appealing to the young since it makes them feel better than their elders, of course. And they have a tendency of not listening to a fucking thing that their parents say because that's got to be bullshit. And anything that's contrarian to whatever your parents say is fucking gold to them. And that's why it's so easy to brainwash kids. For years after making the movie, Richard Donner and the late Mary Ellen Trainor worked on two iconic Tales from the Crypt episodes, Dig That Cat, He's Real Gone, and All Through the House. And I think you're talking about the woman that plays Mary Ellen Trainor was the one who also played the psychologist in the Lethal Weapon films, who was constantly worried about Riggs snapping. She was in several of his films, and she had a close relationship. And also in all of Donner's films was his cousin. He played the lead detective in Superman the movie, the one that survives, not the one that's killed in the subway, but his partner. You'll be missing the clarifications. Okay, Kev. Hey, Mike's in the chat, not on the show. Thanks, Mike. Yeah, you should appreciate your parents while you've got them, man.
Yep.
They're the only ones you're going to have. 4 years after making, yeah, okay, I read that one. I just want to make sure I caught all those.
I'm trying my best, but without a keyboard, it's fucking hard, man.
Che, you want to explain that for everybody? Let's see. Because I had read something about the ship, the loss of the ship. And I think I even heard it on a radio show. They were talking about it, one of the morning shows, back when I used to listen to radio.
Here she is.
Lady V, what's up? All right. We got John here and his better half. Read by Nature's here too. And of course, our good buddy is back in the chat.
Oh, look what you summoned, Gary.
See, I said it hoping that he wouldn't join us, but then he does. Dang it.
Beetlejuice.
Exactly, that's what happened.
I thought you were going to go diddle-doo, diddle-doo, diddle-doo.
Oh, I'm sorry. I should have done that.
That's what I thought you were doing. That's what I thought you were going to do. But then it was
Yeah.
Beetlejuice. And I went, oh, same voice, but yeah, I like that. Either way,
Do your
works.
thing. Be gay.
That's what we do.
Beetlejuice. There.
Or be a snobbish gay. Beetle guys.
Yeah. Let me call in my cabinet of Dr. Caligari.
I'm trying, Max. I'm trying to keep up with the names in the list and pulling up comments, but I'm so bad compared to Martin.
I'm going into it now. And Lester, by the way, he's new to the channel, isn't he?
I think so.
Yeah. Hey, Andy's here.
Andy.
Yeah, when it comes to Facebook Messenger, I have no personal time because I have Andy Morrow and fucking Tim.
Oh, I have a new messenger thing. Tim sends me my daily kitty picture. It's usually in the style of book covers. It's pretty sweet.
Yeah, he sent me a really good one of a little boy kicking the back of a airliner seat, being real annoying. He says, "This is what Anima has to look forward to on her trip."
Pussy pics.
Well, that's from Wayne's World Slasher, Fred. Yeah. You good catch. You caught it.
All right. Let's bring this up.
Here comes the slideshow. Well, let's give thanks
Everybody wake
to
up.
Martin.
Come on in, it's slide time.
That was it. Yeah, because I was unaware of this until years later. And one of the morning shows I listened to back in the 90s up in Seattle brought that up. He says, hey, this just out. Apparently, at the end of filming, nobody wanted the ship, wanted to buy it or anything. And so they had to, it had to be destroyed.
That's so
That's
sad.
fucking sad.
I mean,
They built
it's
that
huge.
fucking ship.
To
Yeah.
scale, it's huge. It's like 105 feet or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I pointed it out during the movie, I said, that is a movie set. That is not a matte painting.
Yeah.
Now I like this Robert Davi scene. This is great where he fakes hanging himself and using a J pipe up his pants, holding him up. And that lady right there, oh my fucking God.
Mama is one of the best characters in this.
She really is. She died not long after this. And she was so good in this movie. She was just fun in anything she was in. Her name was Anne Ramsey. She was in Throw Mama from the Train. I think that was her last movie. And I love those movies. I get such a kick out of them. A lot of people don't know that Sloth is played by John Matuzak, which shocks me because Matuzak was the shit when I was young, man. I idolized that guy. I was so broken when I found out that he used steroids, and later he suffered from severe pain, bone pain, muscle pain, shit like that. So he ended up using medication that had something in it that caused him to accidentally overdose because he was in pain. By the way, I also love at the beginning of this film that every single one of the kids has a crossover scene with the car chase.
Yeah.
Every character in the main character, female, child, and boy, all have this is the girls, the cheerleaders, and the car drives by. Ich liebe Anima und Gary.
I know. So sweet.
Thanks, Jacob. Good friend. He's a good friend, man. I'm sad he moved away because I liked accidentally running into him at Walmart when he worked there. I had a lot of friends that worked at Walmart, and I'd love running into him. And I'd always be on the verge of getting him in trouble by getting him to talk to me for a while. By the way, the opening scene in this, when they do the jailbreak with the fire, originally that was supposed to be right after they did a robbery, the mom and son, and they were going to set a bill on fire and drop it into the gasoline. But every time they tried to do it, it would just float away and not hit the target. So they gave up and just used the idea of the gun causing a spark that starts it. This, of course, is where you see Data, however you want to say it. His character is the crazy inventor kid.
Just like his dad.
Just like his dad. And this is the scene where he has a suction cup fucking dart thing that he shoots and going to pull the object towards him, but he's not aware that it's chained. So it only goes so far and then he gets yanked into it and ends up inside the tank. It's funny.
Yeah, but that's
I like this movie.
Someone from getting hit by the car later on because it squeaks by right behind him.
Yep. Hi, Vinkman's girl.
Yo.
Yeah, and they were constantly rewriting during the shooting of the film. Hey, CJ. Yes, and there is a joke about gremlins in the movie.
Yeah.
Because Mouth calls in and says, you're the same one that called in and told us about those little creatures that if you
that multiply like crazy.
Multiply like crazy. It's like, that was great. I fucking loved it.
Wasn't this some sort of weird way of like saying it's in the same universe of sorts? I think I heard that from somewhere.
You could say that because it is connected by Steven Spielberg. Yeah. This is a Steven Spielberg story. He wrote the story.
Yeah.
and he personally reached out to Donner to direct this movie. And Donner never wanted to work with a group of kids ever again, if possible. He loved them. But he says it was chaos on the set with these young people.
These kids apparently had way too much fun. And that was my main problem with the movie. A lot of the times they're just so loud and hyperactive. And that gave me a headache watching it.
And that's kids.
Yeah.
That's kids.
No.
And that's why I like it so much, because it kind of reminds me of the
not a
shit went on
kid
with my
for that.
friends and me.
Jeez, Anima, didn't think you hated kids so much. God.
No,
She's kind of a meanie.
Yeah.
no, but all of you relate to this because of your own childhoods, and mine just was so different. I was not a kid like that, nor were my siblings. We had a very strict household. My dad would have smacked the shit out of us if we dropped our bikes like that on the side of the road.
Yeah, my dad was kind of almost the same way.
My dad was only a dick when it came to certain things. He could care less about my bicycle. But my dad was really stern, because that's why on my bike I broke my arm doing a crazy stunt, and went upstairs and hid my broken arm from him. I hid it behind my back. I went, hey, how's it going? He figured it out in the middle of the night when he found me whimpering in my sleep because of the pain, the swelling. Corey Feldman, not a big fan of his, but he was good in this. And this kid I never saw him again. He lost all that weight.
Yeah. Didn't he wind up like an entertainment lawyer or something?
Something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
The music video is the plot of the movie, more or less. That was the
Now,
point.
by the way, when I was 21, I hate admitting it, but I had kind of a crush on Martha Plimpton, the nerdy girl in this, the big glasses.
Yeah.
Because that's the kind of girl that I went for in school. I didn't like the cheerleader types. I'm friends with cheerleaders from high school. I wasn't interested in them. I liked the nerdy chicks. Chicks that had a sense of humor.
I had the thick glasses when I was a kid. Oh, man.
Oh,
There
that
was this
must be
period
fun.
where I almost went steady with this one girl, Kate Bedford, but I took too long, and she ended up going out with my best friend's younger brother, Bill. And kind of broke my heart, but I was happy for him. But at the same time, I was like, Kate was really cool. She was one of those nerdy chicks. She was the one who introduced me to the B-52s.
Look at the comment, Gary. That's somebody
Nerdy
right
girls.
up your alley.
There you go, Curtis. You nailed it, man. Nerdy girls are sexy.
But followed by this.
I
That's
dated
sad.
girls that were pretty, and I found them lacking in certain areas when it came to the things I want to talk about and things I'm interested in. Whereas I love this where he's trying to put the penis back on that statue. Jesus Christ, the jokes in this fucking movie.
I know. How did they get away with calling a character One-Eyed Willie in a kid's movie?
Yeah, One-Eyed Willie. Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, right.
By the way,
it was their humor, and it's one of the things that I didn't really like.
if you do not recognize this woman right there on the left, the woman on the right is from a lot of Richard Donner films. She's in like all of them. But the other lady on the left, that's Lupe Ontiveros, and she has been in a lot of movies. She was the housekeeper in the movie As Good as It Gets, that goes to Jack Nicholson's door and asks him to open his curtains and so he can see the world and all that shit, know that God has a plan, or whatever. And he's like, where do people like you learn to talk like that? And some Panamanian sailor want a hump bar. That scene, that's her. She's also the manager of the fan club for what's her name that murdered the singer?
Selena.
Yeah, Selena. In the Selena movie, she played the head of the fan club, the lady that murdered Selena. She's a very good actor, by the way.
How'd they get away with Pussy Galore and Goldfinger? Or Holly Goodhead and Moonraker? I don't know.
Goodhead.
Happens.
Because
at
people
least
weren't
by
this wimpy and like such a Karen.
Scared of words.
It was
I was so
entertainment.
glad though, because I never liked the names. Not because I thought they were sexist, but because I thought they were stupid names. And I was so glad that they left the name out in Quantum of Solace with Agent Fields, because you know what her full name was, the red-headed chick that he ends up going to bed with, and then she gets killed and doused in oil.
No.
Anybody? Her name was Strawberry. Yes, Strawberry Fields. And I'm so glad they did not keep her name in there. Yes, that was recent. She almost got parole. People were worried she was going to get parole. That woman is insane. I don't think she's ever going to be safe.
It's so fucked up what Clark does there. Give all this
Yeah, he sits there,
information about drugs.
mouth starts giving, speaking bad Spanish here. For 2 weeks without food and water. This is the shit he says.
What a jerk.
He is just, jerk. That's the word.
Hey, who is this?
That's on Steven's channel.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because I don't
by the way,
know that name.
Thank you, Steven, for helping me.
Formerly Gorilla Censored Thoughts. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know.
And Gorilla,
So
I have not
going
watched
out
this
right-
movie as of yesterday. So
right now we're officially streaming on YouTube, Twitter, Rumble, the other channel on X, another channel on X, and Kick.
that's Steven. That's Steven's YouTube and X.
Yeah, but we're also on Kick, which is my account.
Yeah.
Because they won't allow us to add it here, even though it's a paid account. They want you to pay more to add that extra account. So I'm like, fuck you. So we use our other StreamYard account and stream to Kick. Yeah, the penis thing is so fucking funny. I remember in the theater watching this the first time, laughing my ass off. And I took my kid to see this. He was like 2 years old when this came out. Almost 2. And he was such a well-behaved baby. We went to a matinee, of course. Because I believe you should never take kids to regular movies.
No.
After 6 o'clock. You should only take your kids to matinees. And people who have a beef about that, fuck off. Matinees were created for kids, not for you to get in cheap, cocksucker. Yeah. Stop whining. If you want to watch it during the day, that's one of the risks you take, having kids there. One of the famous scenes in the movie that was deleted, but is such a great scene, is the scene when the kids. Oh yeah, and it got a fucking thing at the end of the movie where Data says that
when the kids are interviewed,
about the octopus.
Yeah, I was wondering about that.
The octopus, and it's like, and the reason it was cut, according to
out.
some, like Joey Pants and others, was that the mechanics of this thing was not good. It looked bad on camera. It looked jerky and fake.
And lifeless.
Astoria, isn't it? Astoria?
Part of it was filmed there, yeah. They used the real house. They didn't make up a studio for the interiors of the house. They were filming in the house. Everything except the attic scene.
And one of the production personnel bought that fucking house and owned it until they sold it, I think, a year ago. And it went to another fan of the film. And there's been talk about turning it into a museum, which I think would be great. Dressing it up like the movie so people can walk through. Oh, yes, Chunk is an entertainment lawyer. In fact, he is Data's lawyer as well. The two became good friends. I love Huy Quan. He's such a good kid, actor. Yeah. And I love him in Love Hurts. That is a fun movie. I call him Little Jackie Chan because he looks like it. Like, could you imagine being smaller than Jackie Chan? That's him. He's really tiny.
Oh man.
Yeah, I was always the you wouldn't believe it, but I was the quiet one around my friends. I would come up with ideas. I would go do shit with them, but I wasn't very antic motivated. I didn't like
Okay.
antics.
Stop talking for a second.
Oh,
Thank
Caveat
you.
Ties is another one over there on your channel.
Mhm.
Good to see you. Love Hurts was so bad. Hey, it's bad, but just like I said, it was good. That movie is awfully, just awful in so many ways, but God damn it, I loved it. I loved every second of it. Gives a call out to Steven. There you go.
See.
Oh, if you don't know, that's Steven's way of saying fuck off. Before the show, I just got to tell you, it's really funny. Yeah, fuck off. Before the show, Steven was in the background and just running back and forth. It was funny as shit. He was doing it on purpose. Just you could see him just running back and forth on camera. That was hilarious. I chuckled hard on that one. I mean,
Yes,
I chuckled. I chuckled so much I got hard.
Jesus Christ.
Oh my!
I
Yes.
do that for him.
He was in Temple of Doom.
And we just
And
recently
Spielberg-
discussed this one.
Yeah. And he was one of the highlights of the movie. Hold on to your potatoes.
He was.
That's the only reason why I gave this movie a chance, because I enjoyed Short Round, and I thought, yeah, I'm gonna.
Short Round was a great
Because-
character, man, and why he wasn't brought back is one of the things that pisses me off.
Yeah,
Same, yeah.
but that's the only reason why I wanted to check out Goonies.
Well, you get a lot of Indiana Jones in this one too.
Oh
They're
yeah,
down
you
in the caves. He goes
Mhm.
fully Indiana Jones kid style.
I was very lucky, Lady V, that all my kids were kind of like me as a child. Very quiet and prone to not getting into shit or getting into trouble. Zoe didn't become a problem until she hit, technically it was her tweens is when it started. And then it went into overdrive at 13. And I said it one day to my dad. He says, "How's Zoe doing?" I said, "She's doing pretty good. Half the time I want to hug and love on her, and the other half I want to choke her to fucking death." I just look at her, and in my mind, because I would never lay hands on a kid. I just don't like that. I'm not a violent person. And despite the fact that I'm very good at violence, I'm not violent by nature. And so, but I had many a fantasy just knocking the shit out of her when she was a kid, just waylaying her, just knocking her across the room. And then my better, I come to my senses, and I'm like, no, you can't do that. Don't do that.
That's my joy about parenting.
It's like you could probably kill her with a hit. Just don't do it.
It's like, God, I wish I could knock you out, but
seeing Josh Brolin in this movie, I know, right? And he didn't like this movie. He didn't like doing this movie, which is sad because if it weren't for this movie, I don't think he would have had a career. Because I think he was a solid actor from get-go. He's good in this.
Oh yeah.
And he reminds me, I got to be honest, he reminds me of my brother Mike. And that's the other reason why I like this movie is I identified with the Sean Astin kid. And I really identified with having the big brother. Because here's where the song sneaks into the movie.
Yeah.
The theme song. And then they tie him up. And something was up. Because if you watch that scene, and anybody who's ever held one of those spring things knows, I was terrified of them because I had chest hair. And I'm like, I'd have to make sure that if I wasn't wearing a shirt, that I'd hold my chest away when I did it. But those springs are not loose like they are in this movie.
No.
They made it that way so they could wrap around him the way they did.
And it looks kind of goofy when he's working out with them and they are so loose.
Yeah, because it's like there's no tension there. Hey, it's my buddy Kyle. Hey, buddy. Hope you're
Let
doing
me
good,
run his
man.
video.
Just run it. You don't have to say
Yeah,
so.
I'm slow with that.
I know
just
you're
wanted to
slow.
know
That's
I'm
why I
on it.
love you.
Fuck off. Eat shit, you dick.
It's okay, baby. I'm hard of hearing.
Can you feel the love?
Yeah, it's like we've been married for 10 years already.
Yeah, right.
Well, I love her so much, and I just never met somebody that was just so fucking weirdly, oddly perfect for me.
And that
Fuck up, Kyle!
Gary, I had to run the video over that.
and that's how we know Gary is a sadist.
Yeah, and
I'm
I
just-
did early that
That's right.
Joey Pants and Robert Davi did not like each other during the audition process. And it's that dislike for each other that led to them getting the parts because they love that. The way they're so acrimonious towards one
And
another.
they even put it into the movie when he calls him out for wearing a hairpiece on the ship. And
Oh,
he's
yeah.
like, I'm not wearing a
Yeah.
hairpiece. That happened in the auditions.
During the audition.
Davi snarked on him that he was wearing a hairpiece because I think he has alopecia or something. And yeah, they put that in the movie.
I
That
thought
banter
that was
was
fucking
real.
hilarious.
They were playing tricks on each other all the time. The one I remember is when Davi nailed
Pranking, those
the
aren't
dressing
tricks.
room door shut.
Those are pranks.
He
And-
nailed his fucking dressing room
Yeah.
door shut.
But Joey hated him because, are you ready for this? He's a lefty, big lefty. I'm sure all of you have seen his rants recently on video. And it's like, he hated Davi. And Davi, and it's not because he doesn't give a shit, but he has a typical conservative attitude that live and let die. Whatever your politics is your politics. You know, I don't agree with you. We can argue, but I'm not going to fucking act like an asshole about it later and treat you bad.
Yeah.
And he treated him bad because Joey Pants was fucking with him. And so he fucked with him back. And one of them just happened to be meaner than the other when it came to fucking. That's Davi. The other thing, Davi, because Anima doesn't like him because of something that happened in Austria. And she just has a disdain for him. I said, I think he's a bit of an asshole.
He is. He's absolutely an asshole. Whenever he's on set, all the girls dress up in like triple layers because he likes to get touchy. He's method
He likes to
and
get a
doesn't
little
give a shit.
touchy.
He doesn't give a shit if he hurts his
He's
co-actors.
Fucking
He's
Italian. What do you
method.
expect? Fucking Italians, man. But anyway, he said
like-
recently that nobody has gotten a hold of him, and he has doubts that he will be in the sequel because of politics.
Wow. That's a
Okay,
shame.
that sucks.
Because
Yeah.
that's the way the left behaves itself.
Yeah.
Keep politics out of entertainment.
Okay, just to let you know, that's not how those work. You cannot just pull the caps off and let the air out.
No.
There's a little pin in there, and you have to depress that
Yep.
to let the air out.
Or unscrew it.
Yeah. Oh, and screw the stem, but those stems are kind of rubber welded in, so you can't do that.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, what's this?
Yes, and
Oh,
yes.
look at
that's-
that. Nice. And then, but I'm also looking at what Gambit's talking about. Dave Grusin's score was unavailable for 25 years.
Oh, Gambit
Really?
is killing me. He's posting so much information. I can't pull all of that up. I'm sitting here sweating, dealing with the chat. So
Trying to
give
keep
me
up
some
with him.
stat, guys. Yeah, no, with all of them. We have 57 people watching, Gary, and a lot of them are in.
Okay, I'm just going to tell you guys, if she ever breaks up with me, it's because of you guys.
No,
it's all your fault.
Just saying. I'm just trying.
No.
Fuck you guys. I can leave you to it. If you're mean, I'm going to leave.
I love
I,
you,
uh,
Anima.
Now you saw that cool treasure
Hey,
map.
Anima,
That
does
was
Gary know
something.
about us?
Oh.
I'm under your eye.
Yeah, it kind of was, John. I agree with you on that. I agree with you. Yeah, the red bandana. It's just like it was so 1980s.
Oh yeah.
You know, I'm surprised he's not wearing leg warmers.
That was for the
Yeah.
ladies. Fuck you.
No, guys wore them too. Guys wore them too.
Really?
So, like I was saying, Sean Astin kept the map. He was allowed to keep the treasure map from this movie, and he still has it to this day.
No, the treasure map got thrown out by his mother, I think, when she found it and she thought it was a piece of trash. So that
Yeah.
ended
Oh,
yeah, badly.
It breaks the
CJ
heart when
Prime.
they throw away after these movies sometimes, like
Not sure what you're referring to.
yeah.
Prime.
No idea.
I do know that Tom Baker back in '81 did an interview, and he said in the interview, I wouldn't be surprised if one day we won't see a woman play the Doctor. He said that back in '81, '82 during an interview. It's
Why do
Yeah,
you
that
have to
went
be
well.
right?
He's dressed like Elizabeth Shue. I do love this house. I've always wanted to make a pilgrimage to go there.
Yeah, classic
Apparently, it's still
Eastern
there. Yeah.
seaboard house.
Oh yeah, the lady that bought it, that worked on the film, I think I saw news about it a year ago that it was up for sale, and then a fan of the movie bought it.
Wow.
The Protector was Jackie Chan's second attempt at a pressing American audience, but it failed. And it's a good film. I do like it. I mean, you got Denny Aiello in that. I thought it was a good film, dealing with cops. The bicycle thing, again, throwback to E.T. And basically, any kid who grew up in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, that's how all of us got around with each other. Gang of friends riding around on our bicycles. And I've got it on my Facebook page. I've found my exact color and model of Huffy.
Oh, did you?
Bike. I had a Huffy dirt bike. Plus, I later got a Peugeot frame and built my own 10-speed bike with the Peugeot frame. This kid always played snotty asshole.
Yeah, he did
Yeah.
it. He did that too well.
He just, it's his face, man. He's
Yeah.
one of those faces you want to punch. I love this scene where he grabs his hand and starts driving and hits 45 before making the turn. And fucking Josh Brolin's character, Stuntman, goes flying off that fucking road into the woods. Because I told Anima, I said, that's what it felt like when I broke my arm. Because
Yeah.
I hit a turn and dirt went and the back tire slid more than I expected it to in the dirt. And I went right off that fucking ravine down into a bunch of old pine trees. And my arm went between them and my weight went another way and it snapped. Really good use of not just blue screen here, but I want to go back a second on this where he does this. Because he is holding this thing and they're all standing in front of a blue screen.
Yeah.
Okay. But I'll be damned if I'd ride around a cliff like that with a bicycle. Fuck that noise.
Oh, yeah. No. And I think the nerd girl was only there to chaperone for her cheerleader friend. But at that point, when he grabs his hand and drags him along the car, the cheerleader friend is out too.
By the way, I love The Protector. It's a great Jackie Chan film. We should do that one because it is a good film. Okay, so you've got a blue screen here so you can see a bit of the matting around the sides of this thing. And the kids, that's where you really see the matting because they're slightly out of focus. And that causes some diffusion around the sides. So they have a sharper line around their edges than they should have. That's how you can tell it's a blue screen. But what they did is they stabilized this object above. It is held in place, although it's not solidly held in place because you can see it slightly move. But where you don't see it moving is at the top because it's moving like this, like it's on a swivel, the way it moves. So you can tell, and I thought this is really well done for blue screen because this is so much better than the blue screen he used in E.T., where you see the guys out with the Hollywood lights behind them up in the grass looking for E.T., and you can see the fucking matte lines and they're out of focus. It's really bad. This was handled a little bit better. Yeah, I'm not into the Gremlins 3 thing. Mouth, I need you to translate. I don't understand Spanish. Again, trusting the guy you shouldn't trust for Spanish.
Yeah, right.
They don't know that, though. None of them speak Spanish, so they don't know what he translated for the housekeeper. That poor woman.
I've heard that they have tentatively greenlit it, which, films can die in pre-production. So many have.
True.
I worked on a film that died, but it's hopefully coming back because I did all the storyboards and production art for it. And I would love to see it. It's Tom Hanks, Gary Sinise, my boss Dale Dye, and there was one more producer. I know Spielberg was helping, but not helping enough. That's a
And
summer
we already
place.
did.
Why is it open in
We
the
did
fall?
Gremlins. Both of them.
Now, as I recall, this is a fake building. Everything is fake on this. This isn't a real location. That or is built over something, because you can tell when you get up to that building, it's not real. As well as the lighthouse, because there's something when you've worked on props and shit, you can spot fake like walls that are damaged. You can spot like crazy, and that lighthouse just reeks of built for the movie. As does this building. It looks so fake to me.
Oh god, yeah.
Really, because
Because you
story
got
I
to
was
think
reading
what's
on
doing there. You know? Sorry.
that, yeah, Alpha, it happens. It really does. It's sad. We were okay. Just to give you a little history, when I did Code Word Geronimo with IDW, our agency that represented us was Circle of Confusion, the same people who did The Walking Dead, and a film production company wanted to make the movie of my book, and Circle of Confusion got in the middle of it, and they demanded an executive producer slot, and they wouldn't give it to him. They're like, no, we're not going to relinquish control over to you in any way, shape, or form. Well, either we're on there or there's no movie. And I'm like, are you representing us or you? I got mad at that meeting we had. I'm like, you just fucked us out of a deal. And they wouldn't have made their movie. And I got to tell you, absolute piece of shit. So we dodged that bullet. It's the one with the guy who plays Captain Pike now that was in it. It was terrible. His character was ridiculous. Oh, it's just a terrible movie. I think it's just called SEAL Team 6 or some shit like that. And one scene you've got like real Blackhawks. See these Blackhawks, then you see a CG fake Blackhawk, and then you see a real one, and then you see a fake one. And the helicopters never match up. They're always different, scene to scene. I love the way she accents. And by the way, there's a scene in here where she slaps Robert Davi when he's arguing with his brother. And she really fucking laid it on him. Hit him full-handed.
She was told to.
Not with the fingers. That's how normally slaps are done in movies.
Yeah.
She hit him full-handed, and it fucking caught him off guard, and he just sort of had that stunned look. And Richard Donner is why it happened. He said, do it. Told her to do it. And she did it.
Well, he's method. Give him method.
There you go.
After the fact.
And that fucking reaction was great.
Yeah.
There's so many reactions.
Too.
Yeah, they did things with the kids that fucking just put the kids in what they felt was like a rough moment or something. It scared the shit out of them. There's a lot of fear by these characters that when they shot it at the moment, they had done something. In fact, there's one scene where Richard Donner said something to Key about something, and it caught him so off guard that he has this great, like, what? Look on his face.
Yeah, he told him Michael Jackson was about to visit them. And that had the kid in utter shock. And that's exactly the expression they needed. Also, of course, since it involved so many kids, it was shot in sequence almost completely. It's what you do with kids.
Yeah, for the kids. Yeah, he did that for the kids to make it easier for them to understand. 2 years in making this movie, Richard Donner had originally wanted the iconic vampire movie, The Lost Boys, as a version of the Goonies. Yeah, absolutely. And it still kind of has that feel to it. And oddly has the other Corey in it. Corey Haim. Actually, it's got both of them. Feldman's in it too.
Yep.
In fact, is that the movie where they met? The Lost Boys?
I
Pretty
think
sure. Yeah.
So, yeah.
And they became best friends, lived together, all that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love Debbie, dude. Debbie's an asshole, I'm sure. But I can tell you right now, I would probably like him if I hung out with him.
Yeah, but Chunk wants nothing more than to get away from that frozen body, and he just gets thrown right into the trunk with him. I was like, God damn it, that poor kid is going through the motions here.
Yeah, he does, he does get fat shamed in this movie, but he dishes it right back at these guys.
Oh, yeah.
So that's the one thing that a lot of these woke people who don't like that. I'm like, hey man, he dishes it right back at him.
Well, that's what he do. They know he can take it. That's friends shitting on each other. It's all it is.
That's just the way friends are, man. He is their friend, and they are shitting on him.
Yep.
For years, because I've always been a little beefy while I was raising Zoe. I had a little bit of fat on me. And Sean, one of my dearest, closest friends, he could not come back at me. I would say something fucking brutal. I would devastate him with something I would say. And he would just look at me and goes, shut up, you fat fuck. That was all he would ever say to me. He's never said anything else. Yeah, I totally agree with you, Slasher Fred. Yeah. And I think that's why I like Lost Boys so much, because it kind of subconsciously reminds you of that thing in the Goonies that you love. I was the chunk of my friends group too. They insulted me, but I'd insult them right back. There you go.
Yep.
I was svelte and athletic when I was younger. And our friends, I don't know, we shit on each other, but the fattest guy we had in our group was Bennett Sumner. He was a little stocky. It never came up. It never came up in our conversations. And I'd been friends with him since I was 9. In fact, he's my first friend that I met in Virginia growing up. Jim was my third friend because there was Bennett Sumner and Mike Vida. All of us were diverse groups. We never made fun of Mike Vida for being a fucking ginger and not having a soul. Okay, we did. I said a couple of times. It's like, hey, maybe if you keep doing good things, you get a soul.
Look, Mom, every time Gary does a good thing, he gets part of his soul back.
Yes.
No,
that's how it works.
Every time a bell rings, an angel shits his pants.
Holy crap, I can't believe we did something good for a change, right?
Gary likes Lost Boys for the shirtless saxophone player guy. By the way, same dude that was in Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome, doing the same fucking thing, saxophone. I shit you not. It's okay to be a soulless ginger, not their fault. They were born that way. Like Jews, oh my God.
Where's Mephisto when you
Where's
need him?
Mephisto when we need him? That's Diddy level lube right there. I love this scene right here because I wasn't sure where this is going. Like, are they not going to try to get out of there? What's going on? And
They're curious.
And the other thing I love about this is there's real menace with the brothers and the mom. Yeah. They are really, there's a sense of danger with them, but they might kill these kids.
They played so good.
Yeah, but they have scenes where they are just clowns.
Like well, they're funny.
And shit.
And Chunk, I just want food. I just want something to eat. We're gonna be late. Every time he says they're gonna be late, we're gonna miss dinner. We're gonna miss dinner. It's like he keeps saying. He says it like 3 or 4 times about dinner. God. You know his fucking motivation. I love that. And then he has a candy bar on him. Just fucking kicks my ass. I just laugh so hard when he pulls out the Baby Ruth for him and
Listen
Sloth.
to Martin.
Oh yeah.
Show us some love.
Hey, Martin. Yeah, don't forget to show us some love, guys.
Slap that like button as if it was Robert Davi.
And send us naked pictures if you want. Me, just send them to me.
Oh,
Don't send me any naked pictures, please. Goonies.
that's right.
I loved it when a buddy of mine had the same sense of humor I have, where he sent me a dick pic, and it was a picture of fucking what's his name from Fantastic Four and the Avengers, Chris
Evans.
Chris Evans, when he supposedly had a dick slip.
Oh God!
And he sent me a picture, and it was actually his own face over his crotch. And he says, "Hey man, I just thought you'd enjoy this dick pic." And he sent it to me. I just fucking laughed. I'm like, "You fucking asshole."
Is that true? We don't have them here,
Yeah.
so I wouldn't know what.
Yeah. E.T. did the same thing for Reese's Pieces.
Yeah.
Eminem didn't want any part of that movie. Mars said no.
And it made Reese's Pieces so popular.
Oh my God, man. I ate the shit out of them because they came out before that. I was in high school when they came out.
Mhm.
And I kept joking. I said, what's this new peanut butter chocolate candy called Reese's Feces? The Reese's monkey.
Apparently, Tom isn't a fan.
What's that?
Tom is not a fan, apparently,
Of
that candy.
Reese's
Baby
Pieces.
Ruth. All Baby Ruth is a log of caramel that's rolled in peanuts, salted peanuts, I recall, and then covered in chocolate. That's all.
Yeah,
that
that's not everybody's case.
Hmm.
Salted peanuts and chocolate. I know a lot of people who don't like that.
I got to tell you, man, one of my favorite things is Keith's salted chocolate balls. They're really good. You got to try them.
Jesus Christ.
I used to have that. I used to have that, but we got claimed. Well, we had it, the video of him singing that, Chef. I said, here's Keith making some right now. And I put the video of Chef up. But we got claimed. And I'm like, fuck you guys. Not like a strike. We just got claimed, and then I just deleted them and stopped playing the video. It was odd seeing American sweets because most of them we never had. Well, what I enjoyed over in the UK in particular was they had Mars bars there. And Mars bars is owned by Mars, same company that makes Mounds and all that shit and Snickers. Yeah, and all Mars was the Milky Way.
Milky Way,
That's all it was.
They reversed it, and it's so weird. Why not have it the same worldwide?
Well, and then here in the US, they released the Mars bar. And I got one going, oh my God, that's what I ate when I was in England. I bit into it and it's got fucking almonds in it, like on the top. And I'm like, I would take them off. I would bite them off and then eat the candy bar. And then I would eat the almonds separately because I wanted to remember that taste. And it was the Mars bar from the UK. I ate a lot of good candy over there in the UK, man. Toblerone is popular over there. And it's not really popular here, but people know it. Because Zoe's addicted to it. I introduced her to it when she was little. We get Toblerones, and what's the other one we would get? It's wrapped in gold foil. I can't remember the Lindt. Yes, one of the iconic '80s comedies that Corey Feldman was in. The best friend Corey Haim was "Dream a Little Dream." That's right.
Yep. Which
has a Freaky Friday feeling to it. Absolutely, and I try to remember who played the dad in that.
You know, Jason Robards was
conflated because I get it conflated with another movie that the guy I went to high school with, Judge Reinhold, was in, where it did the same thing. In Freaky Friday, flips with his son.
You're not wrong, John.
You sir, are not incorrect. Do you eat Snickers bars upside down so you can feel the vein on your tongue?
Bad Bush.
I swear to God, Bush. I swear to God, Bush. You are awful. That's why I
take
love
your
you so
opening
much.
back.
Maybe.
You don't deserve those 2 seconds.
Feels veiny.
Variety called it a dangerous Disneyland sort of film, stamped with Steven Spielberg's style of high fun. Yeah. In fact, we are going to be doing Rocketeer, which I feel was Disney's best movie, live action movie.
Oh yeah. Rancor Steve loves Rocketeer.
Kirk Cameron and Dudley Moore. Yep.
Sandra is here.
Thunder, what's up, buddy? Oh, I love this scene because he actually can sing opera. I've heard him sing opera.
Yes,
And
he can.
I'm like, oh my God, the voice on him. Plus, he put out an album of jazz Frank Sinatra type songs. And he's actually really good on that.
Oh.
I prefer his opera, but the jazz stuff's pretty good. Another one that shocked me is Frank Stallone, dude. Fuck, that dude can sing. Go look it up on YouTube. Fucker can sing.
It's just, it makes no sense. It doesn't add to the story. He's just singing here and there, showing it off.
Well, it's showing he's Italian too.
Yeah.
Hey, Meph, good. I'm glad you're going to be able to join us for a little bit.
But somebody was productive while listening to us.
Yeah, Lady V hides her swastika. Meph.
Well, somebody earlier, Gary, I don't know if you caught it, handed me a dog shock collar for you for misbehaving. Thank you for that. I think it was Lady V.
You know, just to let you know, I did try that once to see what it felt like.
Of course you did.
And
I'm not going to put something on a dog that I won't test first. Now, there was an additional scene where all of this stuff was happening. Apparently, something happened at the zoo, and 2 gorillas broke loose, as well as some other animals. But the gorillas got loose and stole a golf cart. And there was a whole scene directed by Steven Spielberg, because he served as second unit director in this film. Okay. And he directed that scene for the movie, but it didn't work. Something about the apes. And of course, the apes were the costumes that Rick Baker designed for The Legend of Tarzan, Greystoke. So it's the same ape costumes. And I wish there was a surviving footage. No one knows where that footage went. Nobody is. I mean, if somebody knows, they're not talking. But I've always wanted to see what Spielberg shot for this movie.
Hello, Raiders. Matt just dropped his audience on us, apparently.
What's up, Mephisto people? Hi.
Yo.
So we are talking about a classic 80s film, The Goonies, which I fucking love this movie. I really do. I was 21 and I went to see it with my, I think he was almost 2 when this came out. And he loved all the sounds. He enjoyed the crap out of it. Joey
and here they have a go at him again.
This is where they tell us everything. Everything. Yes. And then he goes over his entire fucking life.
I know. I love it.
Nobody interrupts him, and Davi has this grin on his face. He's enjoying hearing all the.
Yeah, he even says at one point, he goes, I really like this kid. I really like him.
I know.
That was probably ad-lib too.
Well, there you go, Tom. There's another good example of what he would do in his films. Richard Donner, that whole scene with the apes or the baboons was scary as shit for the actors because he let it happen. You know, he knew they were in the car, they were safe, but he terrorized them. And the looks on their faces, especially Lee Remick's, is fucking real. She was scared shitless when those things attacked the car. Then my mom sent me and they kicked me out of summer camp. Oh my God, this is a
that cute summer camp. He even sucked at that.
Hello, mother. Hello,
Hey, wait a
Father.
minute.
Yeah.
Here I am at Camp Granada.
Yeah. Every time he delivers that line, I think of that song. Oh, jeez.
Hi, Penny.
Pretty.
I got my voter registration card.
Proving you're not illegal.
Well, I got my new license, and I'm waiting for the hard copy to be mailed to me.
Mm.
I had the gray beard and everything, man. I look like some crazy old fucking coot. If you guys ever see that movie, I got to tell you, man, Dickie Roberts, I've seen that movie, dude. Yeah. And of course, you know, Richard Donner said time and time again that this movie was a madhouse movie, working with these kids, because they were friends. They became friends, and they would just fucking act up and prank people all the time.
Oh, yeah.
That's a great username, Fluff Chick Productions.
Oh, also, one of the really cool elements in this that I forgot to point out to Anima when we were watching it is when the reveal of the pirate ship happens, each member of the cast had not seen it. So the looks on their faces were real.
They did that with Narnia too. And these kids, they see the sets for the first time when they are shooting. When they walk out of that wardrobe into the magic world, those looks were real.
How are you doing today? Hope you're having a good day, Fluff Chick. Oh, another funny one that's in the making of this hilarious is Richard Donner told the kids, okay, look, that makeup on the sloth character took hours to put on him.
Oh, I can imagine.
He never complained. Matuzak never complained once.
And that's really what this is about, because it took 4 hours to do that makeup. And he told the kids, don't get the makeup wet. Well, they get into the fucking water, and the first thing they do is they start splashing him. And it caused him to have to go redo the makeup for another 4 fucking hours.
Damn.
And he was so fucking nice about it. You know, Matuzak was that gentle giant guy. I really did love him when I was younger. He was a great football player. Fucking love that dude.
Smile.
Yeah, in the making of, Donna remembered when they were done for the first time. He asked, will I have to do that again? And he told him, yeah. And he was like, okay. Didn't complain, just went through with it. Didn't get mad at the kids.
Just did it.
Yeah.
Because anything is better than having to get the shit knocked out of you on the football field.
And he couldn't really eat or drink because the prosthetic mouth was so far away from his mouth that all he could do was drink stuff with a straw and eat French fries. And David would tease him and eat burgers and shit in front of him and scratch his face. Man, I think I got an itch on my cheek. And shit like that.
Fucking with him, trying just because if somebody's wearing makeup, if someone's wearing layered makeup and you start doing that around them, they start itching. It's a psychosomatic thing.
But he just laughed it off. He was not being bullied by him.
So if you go to IMDb, you will see that his death is listed as heart failure.
Oh.
That's what every human being dies from. That's not what killed him. You know, what caused him to have heart failure was an accidental overdose of Darvocet, which isn't like it's in a version of Tylenol.
Right.
It's put into a lot of analgesics for prescription level. And he accidentally overdosed and fucking died from it because he was always in chronic pain. This is one thing they don't warn you about sports, the chronic pain that goes with it. I remember this one little boy asked at the store, asked his dad, they were standing in front of me, why is that man walking with a cane? And I said, because I did a bunch of stupid stuff when I was young, not thinking I had to pay the check later.
Yeah.
And the dad laughed. But it's true. I did a bunch of stuff in sports, athletics, the military. Fucking wrecked my body.
Yeah.
Goonies.
Hey, it's Mephisto.
Goonies never.
So,
This one right here. This one. This was my wish. My wish. And I'm taking it back.
Yeah.
I'm taking
It
in
didn't
all
come
that.
through.
Yep.
Taking it back.
no.
Another great gag in this film, by the way, is when they're trying to take all the jewels from the kids. And Mouth has that string of pearls, and she pulls the whole string of pearls out.
God.
And then there's more in his mouth. He's got such a big mouth, it's full of jewels.
It was all Michael Jackson jewels.
Oh my God.
Well, he invited them to a
that's-
concert and
that's
gave them
what he
super cool
claims.
gifts.
Haven't been, guys.
By the way, that scene where they're at the fountain, that's where they were originally going to have the gorillas go by them in the golf cart. That Spielberg directed, that nobody has ever seen the footage of outside of
great.
the film production. And they said they
Did
don't know what
you-
happened to it.
Did you mention the ET reference we talked about?
Well, there's also the Gremlins reference. But yeah, go ahead with the ET reference.
So I don't remember if we talked about it live on air or behind the scenes, but I did mention the fact that because Emblem was the producer of this and Spielberg did have a hand in it a little bit or a lot of it, the scene where Josh is kind of riding these girl bikes and the waspy dudes are like coming in with the car, and then he flies off on the side where he could have literally just not do that and have that scene where he flies off in a little bit of a slow motion, kind of capturing the whole ET bit, was on the nose. Like, this is completely hindsight. This is like 50 years later that I kind of realized that about 6-7 years ago when I got back to the movie, on a rewatch with my kids. My kids did not fear sloth when they first encountered him. I did as a kid. I did. I was like, when I saw him for the very first time, I was afraid as Chunk was afraid.
Right.
From sloth. And then when he gave him like the Ruth baby, then the same transformation that Chunk had, I had as a kid watching this.
Mm-hmm.
This is why R&B is completely missing the point with this movie. Because he went off on this movie a year ago, saying that
I remember Tom
is
and
not
he
as
had a
great,
big-
and Tom went scorched earth. And the thing about R&B that he kind of did not catch the thing is, yes, if you watch this a little bit too late, maybe you won't be able to enjoy it for what it is, which, again, looking back at it, maybe it's for a specific age. Maybe this movie was made with a specific age in mind. It's the age of the kids in there, where it's not middle school just yet. 10, 11, that sort of age. And if you miss that bracket, you might not enjoy it as much. Because like I said, when I saw this face for the very first time, I was afraid.
Well, because he looks like Jason Voorhees.
I've never seen Jason Voorhees when I was 8.
But that's what he looked like. And I thought he was kind of scary at first. And I was 21 when I saw this. And but the other thing is that scene where he's got the chains above his head threw me back to a horror film that scared the shit out of me as a kid with Oliver Reed called The Shuttered Room. And where they had this person that was kept away like Sloth is. And so there was this element of like remembering that movie that made me fearful of Sloth, even at 21. I thought, oh my God, is this guy going to be bad? What's going on here? But he ends up being this great character.
Yeah.
And he loves Chunk. Chunk loves Sloth. You know, I fucking want to get that shirt. Chunk loves Sloth. I want to get a shirt that says that. I'm going to make one. I'm going to fucking make it. I'll do my own artwork. Fuck them. But what?
The other tie-in was when he drops down to the thing and he faces his brother and like brothers and his mother. He tears down the shirt and he's got the Superman emblem
symbol, and you hear the theme.
You hear like an octave off of John Williams.
You know, you get John Williams Superman theme.
And this is again the Spielberg tie-in, where it's like, that's
not Spielberg. That's
Richards.
Richard directed Superman. The director of this directed.
Yeah,
Superman.
Richard Donner too. Oh, that's right.
It had nothing to do with Spielberg on that one, but Spielberg's association is through John Williams because he's the one who started making movies, and John Williams was his composer.
Wait, who's the composer of Goonies? Is it John Williams or is it Alan Silvestri?
No, it's neither of them.
Neither?
Hold on a second. Hold on. I'll find out because I've said it, talked about it yesterday. And the guy has worked on quite a few films and TV shows, but he's not a name that's really Dave Grusin is the composer, conductor.
Right.
And he's made he did
Dave
Tootsie,
Grusin
The Graduate.
and Joseph Williams?
I don't know about Joseph Williams. I don't
That's what Google says.
I don't recall any association other than, you know, Grusin was the composer for this movie.
Okay.
And he's done some great films, you know, worked with Harrison Ford. He did Mulholland Falls, for God's sakes. Just great soundtracks, but he just doesn't have that commercial viability like John Williams or John Barry or some of the bigger names. Like you mentioned, Alan Silvestri, you know, they had bigger names. So, but there was a starred comment I wanted to get back to because this is really good. Stephen, you were going to say something. Please finish what you're going to say.
Right. Because this movie worked for me because I was the same age that the kids were.
Yeah.
So it was like that. It was that sweet spot. And after this movie, I went off on kind of like a treasure hunting kick. And of course, by treasure hunting, I mean anything around my neighborhood that was lying on the ground that I could pick up without having to get a tetanus shot. So, you know, I was very much, let's get my friends together and let's go treasure hunting. And I was the only guy who was into it. But, you know, yeah, I think this is a movie where you have to be you have to see it at a certain age in order to get it. And when it came to Sloth, it's kind of weird because I wasn't scared, but it did remind me of The Creature in the Funhouse. If you've ever seen
that was another film that had a makeup like that. Yeah.
So I was
anybody who saw horror back then.
Yeah.
And this movie was made for pubescent and post-pubescent teenagers. It was made for kids anywhere from 10 to 16. That's who this movie was directed at.
Yeah.
But anyway, I wanted to answer this. Gambit said, did you guys cover Rumblefish or The Outsiders? We have not yet. Trying to find the right way to work that in because those are so obscure. But I love those movies. I love both of them. So we'll get around to it. Trust me, Gambit. I might be fully gray by then, but we will get around to it. You have my word.
So within the next couple months.
So yeah.
Hey, Mister
Gary, you like Tim Burton's Planet of the Apes? No, I did not. Love the makeup though.
Hey, Mister, I think you're hungrier than I am.
Yeah.
Fucking great line, man.
They bond over that candy bar.
Yeah.
Well, I love it when Sloth feeds him some candy because he's handcuffed or tied to that chair.
Yeah.
Right before they ate him.
Yeah. Engage the panic button.
And
when
sadly,
they-
she died within a handful of years after this movie.
Wow.
Was this before or after Throw My Mom Off the Train?
Before.
Before?
Yeah.
Because, Throw Mama from the Train
'Cause
was,
this was
87, I think.
Her last movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was her last movie. As I recall.
Yeah, I think so. There's that moment where him and Chunk go down, through the fireplace after the other kids, and they go into the pipe room, and Sloth lifts up all the pipes to let Chunk move by, and you hear the car, doing that, essentially having an accident, and Sloth is like, oh. Because he's a lumbering idiot, but he's also, not as stupid as you think. But he's also a lumbering idiot.
Well, he's a big kid, basically.
Yeah.
He's got that.
All right,
He's got that Arrested
poll.
Development.
I started a new poll for you guys. Enjoy the poll. It's in the chat.
What is it?
Fucking read it yourself. I'm not fucking.
I can't go on YouTube when I'm in here.
Yeah, I can't. Yeah.
It slows everything down and freezes shit, and I'm trying to manage your chat, you idiot.
Listen, Missy, do your job.
Whatever.
Fuck off, Mike.
Do you want me to read it for you?
I'm
I have-
Martin.
No, I don't care. I'll check it out.
I actually have
afterwards.
a typo in it. I left out a word, but basically, I'm asking: do you think Anima liked this movie?
I
Oh.
think
And most-
she-
Already
Most
off.
everyone
Good.
is selecting. She was mad about it.
We'll get to
We
that
used to
when
do
we're
stuff
done
like
with the
that too,
slideshow.
Slasher Fred. It wasn't so much treasure hunts, but I grew up in Phoenix as a little kid, and we'd go into the hills with my siblings and friends. And I remember we found fool's gold, and we also found a lot of mica, which we thought we could make money off of that, but never did. We found like a whole area of mica, and that stuff's awesome if you've ever handled it. It's like little thin sheets of paper that you can see through on rock, and it's in little layers like that you can peel.
I think you have some explaining to do, Gary. You confuse the people.
Chat, it's not your job to be as confused as Gary.
Just so
Okay.
you know, I was
No.
talking at the same time as typing that. So
Hey, being confused is my job. It's in my fucking name.
There we go. That's the scene. Oh,
There we
ooh. You're fucked up, Sloth. Now, Sean Astin, was he really wearing braces here? Because I don't remember that. Yeah, I'm just joking, of course.
I love how they see the scene on TV where the guy just slides down the sail, cutting it with his sword, and then they do the exact same thing on the pirate ship. That was awesome.
which was made famous by I almost said Tyrone Power. Oh my God, he was a silent film star.
Oh, Fairbanks.
Yeah, Doug Fairbanks.
Wait, wasn't it an Errol Flynn movie?
No, it was a Fairbanks film, silent film, where he did that the
Okay.
first time. They echoed it again
No,
later in another Scarlet film that
No,
Errol
the
Flynn
movie
did.
that's the movie that Sloth watches? Wasn't it an Errol Flynn swashbuckling movie?
Oh yeah, I think something like that.
It could have been Errol Flynn because it did have a soundtrack. But
Yeah.
the first person to do it was in a Doug Fairbanks movie.
I'll check it.
Because they have that music, dun, 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 and that's like an Errol Flynn
It's
movie, I think. Yeah.
Literally, Google fills in the question.
Oh,
The movie is called Captain Blood.
Yeah.
And it is indeed an
That was it,
old
yeah.
Errol
I
Flynn
said
movie.
Scarlet. I said Scarlet. I meant Blood. That is it. Yeah. I love Errol Flynn.
Captain Scarlet was the marionette thing.
Captain Scarlet. Now I'm going to check something here.
Captain Scarlet, he's our hero. Oh no, never mind.
Fucking love Captain Scarlet, man. I love that Century 21 has one of the best YouTube channels because they're constantly putting out documentaries about all the marionette shows that they did, all the way up to the live action stuff with UFO and Space 1999. What a great channel. Because a lot of people don't know they were behind the Saint, Century 21, with their involvement with Sir Lou Grade. So they did a great documentary on the making of the Saint and all those other shows that were popular.
The Roger Moore one you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the DP on this is the same DP that worked on his first job was Cheech and Chong's next movie, Stoker Ace, Staying Alive, Cannonball Run, City Heat, Stick, Twice in a Lifetime, The Goonies, Short Circuit, Spaceballs, Mac and Me, terrible fucking movie, by the way, people. And his career seems to have gone down from there, like to TV. Then he's just working on TV. Yeah, nothing but TV after that. So that's who DP'd this, and I am certain, once again, that Steven Spielberg has this way of being on set a lot, and he backseat directs like George Lucas does. And so I'm sure he was doing a lot of pushing on the lighting in this because he wanted to have a certain look. So I guarantee you that's Spielberg with the lighting. Because somebody brought that up about the it looks like fire. Goonies, no helicopter parents, and yeah, they were real parents. They weren't being guilted constantly about not being
If the
there.
streetlights come on, you go home. Time for dinner.
Yep,
that's right.
That's how I grew up.
Yep, same here.
Hey, Comic Relief Crusader member for 5 months. Look at that.
Weird.
I can always tell when you have a job. I can always tell when you have a job.
Yeah, somebody's got a job. So 2 weeks in, I haven't been able to do much. YouTube.
I hope it's going well.
Yeah, it's going pretty well. Training to be an arborist. It's pretty interesting. It's been pretty hot in Calgary though. So, but I still got the movie matinee thing going on, which was this afternoon. And
yeah, you did Caligari's
The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari.
Caligari.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
classic film.
Oh,
very
lovely.
Nightmarish.
Very surreal nightmarish.
Well, it's that German expressionist film, horror film.
Yeah.
Murnau at his peak.
Mm-hmm. So if you want to catch that, check it out. It's up and
And
running.
just so people know, Murnau was fucking he was a weird fucking dude. He was gay, but he was weird. Gay didn't make him weird. He was just fucking weird. And one of his closest friends who worked with him on Nosferatu and other films was a Satanist.
Yeah.
Openly. Devil worshiper. Weird shit. And that's where some of the satanic, demonic shit came from with the original Nosferatu that they had to kind of curb down a little bit.
Yeah.
But with the latest version of Nosferatu, he brought it back into the story. Because it's not just loosely based on Dracula. There are other elements there that are also closely related to the other film you plan to do, which is, or have you already done it? The one with the clay man that you put the scroll in his mouth.
Oh, Gollum.
The Gollum.
Yeah, Gollum. So, which is actually the third movie in the series, because the first one was done in 1915, and then there was a sequel that is lost to time. Like, there's no copies of it everywhere. So the one that is the most popular is actually the third in the series. So, and it's quite good, quite good. But
that's interesting with curfew. Thanks, 11 Alpha. Thanks. And I don't want to
that's
interrupt
from the times
you, but
when
I
he had
have
candles.
I want to point out that the interesting thing about the Golem is it comes from mid-European Hebrew folklore.
Yep, Jewish folklore.
And I don't know if that's something you would know down in Israel about the Golem, or if it's something that originated in Israel. Do you know, Matthew?
It's not from Israel. It's from Eastern European Jews.
Yep.
I'm not sure if it's not sure if it's Poland or Czechoslovakia or that region. I think.
Well, the director heard the story while he was in Prague at the time.
Oh shit! Here's that scene.
Czechoslovakia.
Sorry.
Yeah, and where it said that the original Golem is in a crypt in a church in Prague. So,
yeah, and basically he was made of earth clay, and you would put the you would write out some sort of curse or something on a name, and put it in its mouth, and at night it would come to life and go and avenge you on that person. Yeah. And I always thought that was a really cool concept, an early kind of a mixed version of Frankenstein, almost, the monster.
It's a pre-Frankenstein, pretty much, almost.
It is. You know? And yes, the Golem absolutely has a Beatles haircut. It's fucking goofy.
Oh, I know. I love it. Love it. But
I love that ship reveal because, again, the kids and none of the cast had seen it. So when they see the ship for the first time, that is the first time they ever see it. So you got that genuine look of awe on the kids' faces seeing this.
They still had to reshoot it because one of the kids said, "Oh fuck," and they couldn't have that in.
That sucks.
But they had their facial expressions and everything. So.
But anyway, guys, I gotta get going. So yeah.
Thank God.
I know. So if you guys want to watch some of those really old movies, check them out over my channel there for the Mike's Movie Matinee. And
I put the link in chat, Mike.
Awesome, thank you,
Michael.
And enjoy some good movies.
Do me a favor.
Yes.
Come on camera, so I can blow you a kiss.
Okay.
And you can blow me one back.
I love you,
buddy.
All right.
I love
See
you,
you
man.
guys.
Bye.
Is that your question that you put on the poll, Gary? You fucking asshole.
That'll teach you to fuck with me. Does the Anima hate nice things? Everybody pretty much said yes, and then like 29% was like, sometimes.
Fuck that. The question was whether or not I hate this movie, so stick to that.
Well, that'll teach you to fucking be mean to me while I'm having trouble typing shit.
It wasn't me. It was all over the chat. What does that even mean? That's
all right,
your
I'm ending
fuck
that poll.
up, dickhead.
Are there any other polls you want me to ask about this film? Like, I guess we should even ask, like, who is your favorite kind of monster in a movie, a human monster? And I think that Steven brought up one that we should bring up, and I also want to bring up Jason Voorhees. So do you think that'd be a good poll? Nobody? Oh, okay.
Is Tor Johnson going to be in there?
No, it's a bad poll.
I don't care. I hate you now. So do what the fuck you want.
Oh.
Why do you hate Steven?
No, I hate Gary.
Gary.
Oh, I know.
For fucking with me in front of over 60 people.
Well. Anyway, putting fucking aside, hi, One-Eyed Willie. And remember, this is his. Don't touch his. You can take everything else, not this one.
Yeah.
Anima, like this week was the first time you've watched this movie?
Yesterday. Because we had a hard time finding it.
I really want to know what you think, because I said you liked it in the poll.
She did kind of. She enjoyed it. She enjoyed it. Hey,
parts of it.
Steven, what was the that sideshow monster's name in that movie? Do you remember?
Which movie?
I forget the name of the film. He brought it up. Steven brought it up.
I remember the monster. I don't remember
What was the movie?
I don't remember what they called the Fun House. 1981.
Can you guys think of another monster like that?
No.
Do you have Hannibal Lecter? Oh, Staines brought that one up.
Oh,
I got it.
no,
I
he's
got
not
it,
the
Gary.
film.
Don't worry. Don't worry. I got you covered. Oh, I need to move you there. No. Too many screens.
Yeah, I only have one, and God, do I wish I had another one.
Let's see. Now I'm going through my 80s horror movie Rolodex here.
I'm flipping through the photos from the movie to see if I can find out which actor played him.
I mean, if you want the picture of him, I've got it on the shared screen.
I wish they let us put photos in these things, but you can't share photos in the chat.
Yeah, just you can share my screen if you like. If not, that's fine.
Anima, can you share it? I'm looking for.
Sure.
I really enjoyed that movie. I liked those kinds of movies back around 1980, Stephen.
There you go.
Like,
Yeah.
Silent
There you
Scream was one of my other favorites from right around 1980.
Yeah. I'll stop. Because nobody needs to see that. It looks like me in the morning.
Wayne Doba. That's it. Wayne Doba
Okay.
played the monster.
Oh, not all of the ship was trashed, like we mentioned earlier. They were able to reuse some of it for the Pirates of the Caribbean ship. That's nice.
And apparently he didn't have a name. That's weird.
That ship is so cool. It sucks that it just sails away into the sunset because they would have sent Coast Guard after that thing.
So I'm going to real quick drop this movie down. How much time do we have left in it anyway?
We had 1 hour 6, and since they're usually 120, 15 minutes, so
I'll share this screen real quick. So this is the Funhouse monster. Let me go back one. That's the Funhouse monster. And I thought that was really cool, Steve. That was a really good one. And then you got Jason Voorhees in the Friday the 13th movies. Everybody remembers him. He was in the second film, right?
Jason? Yeah. He where he's grown up monster Jason, he shows up in the second one, yeah. Because he's still the boy in the first one.
Yeah, you see him at the end.
Yeah.
What? He just told me that it didn't understand Friday the 13th part 2. I guess I didn't put part 2. It's saying I misspelled Friday.
You do misspell things sometimes.
I do, but I'm like, that is not misspelled. There it was. I just saw it there. So let's see if we can get some makeup on this one with Jason. Did they show his face or not? Because I know he had the hood on.
In the second one? No.
Yeah. So you didn't see his face until the third one.
No.
It was pretty fucked up. That sucks. And part 3 was in 3D. I went to see that in the theater. Got to see that eyeball come right at me.
Now there was another kind of human monster movie around the same time as the Funhouse called Humongous.
Oh,
from,
in
1982.
Mad Max, the Road Warrior.
No.
Yeah.
There was no, not Humongous. Well, we can use Humongous, but there was a horror movie called Humongous in 1982.
I don't remember that.
That has like a human monster in it as well. But I've only found like on IMDb like only one picture of it, and that's when it's on fire at the end. So you can't see its face too well. Or his face too well, I should say.
I'm going to have to check that out. I don't remember that one.
Yeah.
So I'm just looking up images here now.
I just remember it because I think one of the actors that was in Funhouse was in Humongous as well. So that's why I remember.
So his face, depending on the movie, like here's one right here. I didn't like that one.
Oh, yeah. That's when he's the zombie Jason.
Yeah. That's as a child.
Tom Baker says he's learning by the minute. We'll have to write that down. Yeah, you better. That's going to come up in the exam, dude.
This is in part 4. Yeah, it shows it right up here, part 4. I remember this one. The head injury. But he looked different in one of them I saw, where he just looked dangerous as fuck. And then he puts the mask back on.
Oh, is that 3 you're thinking of at the end when he takes the mask off?
Yeah.
Okay. He just looks insane. Yeah.
She's pretending to be his mother. There it is.
Oh,
there
yeah.
it is. There's the makeup.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she tricks him. The girl does. She tricks him into thinking that she's his mom. And that's how she gets him or gets away. Sort of until the next movie. Then she dies, as I recall. Man, it's been a long time. I need to go back and watch that series. I didn't watch the first Friday the 13th until I was already in my 20s. And I finally sat down and watched it because my dad wouldn't let me go see it. So home video became such a thing in the 80s, and I finally sat down and watched it. And I'm like, that's a real murder mystery. It's an Agatha Christie murder mystery.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because people are dropping off left and right, and they don't know who the killer is. And it's poor little Mrs. Voorhees killing all the people that reminded her of the nasty, naughty little kids that caused her son to drown.
Yeah, but the kids in that movie had nothing to do with it. So she's just a psycho at that point.
Well, exactly. I don't know how they can have Jason in a prequel series. It's like, what the fuck? He's like living in a cave somewhere. All mentally handicapped and shit.
Well, how far back are they planning to go with the prequel series?
I don't know. I know the prequel series to it looks actually pretty good, and they're bringing what's his name back to play Pennywise. And I thought this looks promising because what they're doing is they're kind of telling the story that was in the book because it took place in the 60s. That's all they're doing. So I went, oh, that's kind of neat. Sloth wins over
And
Jason.
he's Captain Junkie now. I like
So
that.
33% voted for the Funhouse Monster, 17% for Jason Voorhees, and 50% for Sloth. Thanks, guys. That's fun. I like doing these polls. It's funny in retrospect how they managed to swap antagonists. Yeah.
Because after
Jason
a
ended
while,
up being a little bit like. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
no, I was just going to say because after a while, they the other characters were no longer really interesting. It's kind of like every monster movie. The human characters aren't interesting. The monster is the one that becomes the more interesting. And they went from characters that you don't want to see die because they don't really deserve this to they're just like these cardboard cutouts in a shooting gallery to get knocked down. And that's how Jason became popular. You're
And
there for
I
the
also
kill.
think that Jason kind of became that thing about rude, obnoxious, annoying, sex-crazed teenagers.
Yeah.
And it seemed like if you were a Vestal virgin, you had a chance of surviving.
That's what I liked about In a Violent Nature. It's just like, you are in my territory, you have stolen something from me, and I'm going to fuck you up. And that's it.
Is that the movie that acts like that's sort of like that, and everybody but the one girl dies at the end and she drives away?
Yeah.
Still traumatized. Yeah, that movie is weird and good, and
yeah.
It's nothing that Anima will ever watch. I will never get her to watch something.
Probably
like that.
not. No.
But Chris Gore is the one who suggested that. He said you should watch that. I went, okay.
I'm
So
right here. Hello.
When Anima gets back from her break, we should talk about something nice, not scary.
Fuck you.
Guys, my eyes are shutting down. So
You
I'm
couldn't
gonna
even
go
make
to
a
bed.
half hour, you pussy.
I'm pussying out.
Yeah, have a nice birthday,
I have to go to bed. I was expecting to be like alive and well at around 2 a.m. No, I'm an old man. I've actually have not been sleeping well in the past couple of days, so I'm going to
get some
go
rest,
and
buddy.
I'm going to go and rest because I have a very restful day tomorrow as well.
Happy
By the way, if you
birthday.
didn't know, Martin's mother died yesterday. So
okay.
if you get a chance, maybe shoot him a message.
He's in the chat. Martin, I feel your loss, man. See you later. Bye, everybody. I love you too.
Love you too. Take care.
Happy birthday. Take care. Okay.
All right. New poll
Oh.
is up. Do you want the Goonies too?
Oh, that's
yes,
easy.
No, maybe.
They
if
already
it's good.
answered that. Nobody wants it.
Yeah, but this is a poll. Now you'll know percentages. Seeing this whole
I'm
set
going
makes me
for-
sad. Gotten a Goonies experience at an amusement park, right? This was a hit. Why wasn't this a ride or something?
I'm surprised it wasn't.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It makes no sense that that prop ship wasn't moved to Universal's backlot. Was this Universal or Warner? I forget.
Universal, wasn't it?
Lindsay, hey girl, what's up? Long time no see. It's good
Hi,
seeing
Lindsay.
you. Absolutely. Tom and I've talked about this. Tom went to war with fucking Chris Gore over this shit. Not Chris Gore, Robert Meyer Burnett over this. Make sure to vote. I want your every vote counts. I say that like it really means something here, but I am curious what everybody thinks. I'd like to see you guys vote. My stance is I don't want it, but if they manage somehow to make something that doesn't suck, I will go see it as long as all the original actors that are still alive are in it. The reason why, Lady V, and I think all of us have we're gotten a little gun shy with Hollywood, with all the woke crap and ruining things that we love. Kathleen Kennedy, one of the worst offenders. By the way, that cop right there, that's Richard Donner, the one on the far right. Did you guys catch that? I'll take it back.
Oh, there he is. Yeah.
Richard Donner is one of the cops. And by the way, Plimpton, she was awesome on that show, Raising Hope. If anybody's ever seen that series, I love that series.
Yeah, and she's really good in a movie called The Sleepy Time Gal that I don't think a lot of people have seen. It was an independent.
I don't think
feature
I've seen that.
Went, where she goes looking for her, finds out she's adopted and goes looking for her birth mother. Very interesting story.
Oh wait, I have seen that. I saw that on Showtime or HBO when it was brought to TV.
I think Showtime had it.
I know the film you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, this is his dad.
Yeah.
This is Data's dad. And he's an inventor. I love that.
Yeah, only his inventions don't work. Like the camera that fucks up the film.
It is really close to a masterpiece, Gambit. I have to agree. I had a crush on her, Lindsay, back in the 80s. It's like, even though she looks like a boy there, she is really cute, despite looking like a boy in this shot. And I got mad. I got so jealous when Corey Haim was flirting with her in a movie. Just kidding. I don't give a shit. But Martha Plimpton is just a really good actor. She's so likable. And in the end, Josh gets the girl, the cheerleader, but she still kind of likes his little brother because he kisses good. I mean, she commented on that and said, hey, he's got a chance with her later if they break up. And Sloth. I fucking love Sloth in this movie. He and Chunk are, in my opinion, the single best thing in this movie.
And Chunk has a brother now, the one he always wanted.
They always wanted.
Because they all go to jail, so he needs to find a new place to live, and Chunk just adopts him as his brother. Oh, we have another breach.
He's the second cop on the right. Oh, well, gee, I get to play that video again. Unless you want to do it.
No, I'll do it.
Go ahead. You
do it. Yeah.
And you were in absolutely the deepest.
Shit, Ma.
I don't like that language, but that's exactly what you're going to be in. And you, Jada, use the back door from now on, okay?
I can love that. And by the way, what's in the cup there, Steven?
Pudding? No, thank you, sir.
That is so gross.
I'll pass.
I love that book. We have to do part 1 and part 2. They don't say part 2, they say part 2.
Part 2. You language butcher.
Yeah, I don't want to sound like I'm retarded. Duh. It's duh. And of course, he's his son, the other asshole that's trying to take the house from him.
Yeah, no surprise.
Feel the fiery wrath of Samwise Gamgee.
Look, man, I loved him until he opened his mouth about politics. It's like, shut the fuck up, dude.
Yeah.
You're not going to suffer to anything except for your own stupidity.
Yeah. This is where she
finds it. That's right.
And originally, she found them in the laundry room in the house, and then they decided to show the ship sailing off in the sunset.
What needs to be here? Yeah, it needs to be in one scene, all of it.
So they called her in. She was done with the movie, and they called her in and said, "We need to reshoot this because you're on the beach now." She's saving the day.
Yeah.
Hey, is Outlaw Bill here?
He is.
Well, I
Stephen
saw
was a great help with putting
Lady
the
V
names in there.
said
So
something. Is Outlaw Bill here?
yeah, they
There
talked
he
about
is.
him,
Yes,
him
Outlaw
doing
Bill's
a
here.
karaoke show.
What's up, man? Oh. I am a somebody, or am I invisible? Yeah. So yeah, fuck the Goonies 2. If there are going to be new kids taking over the original, well, they're adults now. So I always wanted to see it. A lot of fans wanted to see it
Well,
back in the late 90s going into the 2000s, because then it's the next generation. And
yeah,
so they
now
get
it would have to be
but
grandkids.
I got to tell you, Mike had a great point. I think it was Mike. It was either him or Steven. One of you two had a great point that kids tend to like hanging out with grandparents. So that might be able to work. So they're now grandparents.
They're old enough
I think
too.
I think that would be neat. If they handled it with some love and care, I'd fucking go see it. But if they don't, if it's just a cash grab, if it's woke and all about girl power, I'm fucking just not gonna watch it. Girl power.
If they make it a good story and remember what made the original work, like they did with Top Gun Maverick, yeah, I could see it working. But how many writers in Hollywood right now are going to be able to pull that off?
I don't know. I got to tell you, I'm torn by that too, Reed, because I loved Matuzak. I was a big Matuzak fan. I mean, I don't like the Oakland Raiders, but I fucking watched them play because there were two guys who played for that team that I loved, and Matuzak was one of them.
That's the other thing too. I mean, is that who do you get to play Sloth? I mean, and you have to have him in there.
Or you need a really good story to write him out and not have him there.
Yeah. Because I mean, with Mama Fratelli, that's easy. You can't just say, okay, she died, But I don't know. I'm not down with these legacy sequels just for the sake of doing one. They did exactly what we were afraid of. They took the wrong
You have
lesson.
to do it for all the right reasons.
Yeah.
If you're going to do it, it has to be for the right reasons. And not just do it for the cash grab. And I agree with you, because that's exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
What do you think about that idea?
Which one? Which idea?
Martine's idea. I pulled it up.
Okay. So it could be the search for the
It
Inferno.
could be the search for the Inferno.
Yeah.
He's
or
also
One-Eyed Willie's other eye. Yeah, One-Eyed Willie. I mean, that is a nickname given to penises, One-Eyed Willie. One-Eyed Willie, the heat-seeking moisture missile, my Python of love. I've heard all sorts of them. And that's why, the joke was made earlier that they couldn't believe that name got through the censors, One-Eyed Willie. Nobody said anything about that. It's like, that's a nickname for a penis. Good old One-Eyed Willie.
Yeah, we said that earlier because people weren't afraid of words or being offended by every little shit. So.
Yeah, I liked Afterlife, Martin. I just wish they had done Ghostbusters 3 while Harold Ramis was still alive. I mean, I'm glad that they fit him in the way they
Bill
did.
Murray's fault that it didn't happen.
But
because
yeah,
he
still.
wouldn't talk to him. He
Yeah.
wouldn't talk to him. Went apart. By the way, that was it. It was the one Willie the One-Eyed Wonder Worm. That was the nickname. Willie the One-Eyed Wonder Worm. That we used to say back in the 80s for our penises. Was it? I love the Eddie Murphy one. He says, "Yo, man, your mom got a wooden leg with a kickstand." I don't want to say your mom is slow, but it takes her 2 hours to watch 60 Minutes. Both those are Eddie Murphy jokes from the 80s. And I've used that joke on friends of mine that are like really long-winded in explanations of things, like John Del Vecchio in particular. Don Ecker's like that too. And they really take a leisurely walk around to get to the point that they're going to make. And I've said that about Don and John Del Vecchio. And if you don't know who John Del Vecchio is, the New York Times bestselling author of The 13th Valley, close friends of mine. And I told him one day, he says, "Why don't you want me to help you write Vindicated?" I said, "John, I love you, man, but you're long-winded. It takes you 2 hours to tell me what was on 60 Minutes. And it's a variation of the Eddie Murphy joke. Afterlife is more like an episode of the cartoon show. It's not too bad, but could have been. By the way, there's this new samurai show on Netflix, cartoon animated, that looks really good. And I think it's called Low Man, I think it is. Low Man. And I'd never heard of it before, but I saw a trailer for it, and I can't find a copy of it. I found YouTube has the first episode. It's like 13 minutes or some shit. And I'm like, I was hooked. I was like, fuck yeah, this looks good. I thought it was more, yep. I liked Ghostbusters Afterlife, but I had so many problems with it. And once again, it has to do with the member berry thing. It's like I start feeling you're throwing too much at me, I have a problem with it. I'm like, slow that funnel down. Hey, run around like you did earlier, deleted.
Sorry, I keep.
Mm.
Sorry.
That shit was funny. He's just like, he's kind of doing a Mr. Bean running in the background, back and forth. And by the way, you're living in the same house that Keith has. So you guys live together.
I bought it from him, actually. Yeah.
Oh, is that where you get? Okay, that's where you got it. Oh, yeah. That's why Tom and I have kind of argued. And it's a nice argument. It's a friendly argument.
Yeah.
That which year had the better films, 1982 or 1984? And I'm like going, I really can't say, but for me, 1982 is the most important film year. And then the second most important year is 84. Because, man, the impact that those 2 years had. And I was an adult, and it still had a massive impact on me. Ghostbusters, all of that shit.
You know,
yeah, we are going to do John Carter. I've already got the show up. I think it's 2 weeks from now we're going to be doing John Carter. And I'm going to push Keith to be there because Keith and I have talked ad nauseum about how that movie was sabotaged by Disney and Bob Iger. So they have nothing to do but point that figure back at themselves for its failure. Because I think it was a solid film. I liked it.
Yeah, so did I.
Piss poor marketing. And I keep hearing rumblings, and I don't know if it'll ever happen, but I would like to finally have a live action The Man of Bronze, Doc Savage.
And we have another breach.
Well, gosh, do I play the same one?
No, we'll play a different one.
Looking for one. Oh, too bad Steven's not here. I play this for him.
Listen, fuckwad, so you can shut the fuck up, okay?
There you I don't see. Where are the breeches? There we go. I found it. Ooh, Starman.
Hey, honey. I wouldn't go out through the back door right now. That friend of yours, he's out there in the parking lot.
A Lone Ranger back door. Hold on. Whoa, Silver.
We sneaked in here the back way.
Oh. That's how you do it.
Hi, Wade. And yes, it is over. We are past 2 hours. So you can go
Yay.
and watch the replay.
Connie Cleary popped in. Caveat Ties is here. Wow, man. A lot of familiar faces. All right, so let me say thanks to everybody. Snorty, of course. Gambit, Tom Baker, Martin, Max Damon, 11 Alpha, Comic Relief Crusader, who's also on the show. Che, Cavalry. God damn it, his name is so hard to say.
Just say Shay then.
That's what I just said, Che. So, and I say Che, not Shay. Anyway, Lester, Ostays, Jacob, and welcome to the channel, Lester. Read by Nature, Lady V, Andy, CJ Prime, Boosh was here. Gorilla's Hand Thoughts, Vinkman's Girl, Curtis Selby, Caveat Ties, Zach's Wilkie's Movies and Music. That's a name. Sandra Hammerschlag, Mephisto, who also joined us, Penny, Connie, Outlaw Bill, Lizzie Armstrong, Big Al Presents was here. I didn't see him in the chat. I got to get going. Somebody said, oh, that's Mike. Take care. I don't know who that is.
I was saying goodbye to Mike.
Usarn G, Lindsay, the Cynical Geek. It's awesome when you pop in. Don't see you very much, Lindsay. Sauron Baggins is here. Wade was here. That's, of course, Real Wade Nation Gaming. So thanks, guys, for all popping in and saying hi and throwing down some opinion. Speaking of opinion, let's see what the score is. We have 6% say yes, 69% say no, and 25% say maybe if it's good. So I'm going to end that poll. Thanks again for doing all the polls with us today, guys. Deeply appreciate it. We're going to get the hell out of here. So I just want to let you guys know that I appreciate you come to watch this channel.
You love me. You really love me.
I always like Peter Green in the background with the hair. Just makes look good.
Yeah, he's like sitting there like, I'm on camera. Try to look your best. Yeah. Thanks for being here, guys. We deeply appreciate it. And thanks for all the chat. God, great. It's always the best. And
Awesome.
I want to thank Stephen for being here, Mephisto and Mike for dropping by. Thanks, guys. We appreciate it. And this is a great film. I hope you get a chance to see it if you haven't seen it. And those of you that did see it, I hope you agreed with the love, because we love this movie, except for Anima.
I don't.
Kind of was like,
No,
okay with
I don't hate
okay.
it. I don't hate it, but
She was
I don't
okay
love
with
it
it. I
either.
just said it. Just say it. You're okay with it. I'm okay with it.
The story is
If you had-
okay.
if she had to choose between a poke in the eye and watching that movie, she would pick the movie. So there you go.
Shut up.
It's all
Shut
that
up.
matters. So everybody, get out of here. We love you. Have a great day, and we'll see you again on
See you
Monday.
on Monday.
Bye, guys.
Bye.